You're about to enjoy a Cloudcast original. Local stories, local storytellers, local brands.
Have you ever felt that you as a woman may not appear to measure up when you see incredible women in strong roles? You may be surprised when hearing from women in these positions and how we all share many of the same challenges. Thank you for joining us for the SheEO Lead-In podcast with Rebecca Jones as we share the journeys of women.
Hello, I'm Rebecca Jones, your host of SheEO. We are on an exploration together to discover more about the personal journeys of incredible women in both career and life. We all have paths to share that sometimes take incredible turns, deep resilience, and courage to navigate. My hopes are that the challenges shared here encourage women to take leaps of faith and growth when a journey feels too difficult or unachievable. There is great strength deep within each one of us. These stories are meant to share the way strong women have taken their dreams to strive and thrive to new heights despite their sometimes rocky paths and found a way to lead in. So today, I'm so excited. We are here with Rebecca Jade, the CEO of Rebecca Jade Entertainment, and she is one of the most awarded artists in the history of San Diego Music Awards. Rebecca? From one Rebecca to another. I admire you so much. When I saw that you were coming on today, I literally was so thrilled because you're so interesting. You are so eclectic. You're so, let me just say it, cool.
Thank you.
So anyway, tell us a little bit about what your life must be like. It's got to be very glamorous, exciting, and every day has just got to be like a roller coaster.
A roller coaster is probably a really good way to put it. Thank you first for having me. I'm really honored to be on here, and happy to share my story with you in any way I can help encourage and enlighten anyone, and especially young ladies. Is my honor to help.
I
with that.
love that.
So,
I love that.
Yeah.
And might I say, you are rocking the coolness factor today.
Thank you.
I was talking to the team here at Cloudcast, and I went, I wonder if she's going to wear her normal little beautiful flower in her hair, and you did not disappoint. I love I just love everything about you. Your music's amazing. You're so cool, and you are so inspiring to so many people, young and old.
Thank you.
You could be old like me and appreciate you. So
Oh,
I
thank
want to
you.
know. I want to
Yeah.
know what got you into entertainment and music.
So honestly, oh gosh, so I always, it's funny because when I explain this, I don't want to ever come across as weird or thinking in that way. But basically, grew up in a musical family. My mom is a singer. And so I've never known life without music. And that didn't come into play until I realized that not everybody has that exposure, from the beginning. My mom was a singer. My mom is a singer. She used to sing with her father and with her brother in a singing group when she was kind of growing up. And it's just always been a part of my life. So much so that I never thought of it as like a talent or a career path. It was just always something that was there. So as I grew up and kind of realized that wasn't something that everybody did, everybody had their own gifts and whatever that may be, I started to go, oh, like, Mom, not everybody can sing. She's like, no, babe. No, not everybody can do that. And so my perspective is a little different than somebody who like always wished they could sing or perform. I was just always doing it. It just was always a part of my life. So then basically fast forward to once I kind of learned how to, that was, something more that I was born with. And then we started kind of honing it. My mom was singing with me as I was growing up, and I was involved in theater and choirs, all the things, you know. I also spent a lot of my time. I always like to say that I have a dichotomous life in the sense that if I wasn't doing arts in some form or fashion, music, acting, singing, theater, I was doing sports. So I played tennis, I rode horses, I played baseball, I was on the swim team. I was like extremely active as a kid. So it was either in the arts or in sports my whole life. So much so that I, because the sports is kind of as I got older, it kind of took a little bit more of a focus because, like I said, music, I just never thought of it as a career. It just was this thing, that was just part of my life. And so I actually wanted to play play college basketball, and then I would hope to play basketball overseas, and like that kind of was a focus for a while, and then music was a focus for a while. It was hard to pick because I just, so but ultimately I really do believe that I am on my path. I'm doing what I feel like I was destined to do, and I'm so grateful.
That is so awesome. Okay, I have to say, you're right. Not everyone grows up like that. I have zero musical talent at all,
Gotcha.
and I was involved in dance, and I wasn't into plays or anything like that.
Yeah.
But I was a cheerleader. I did that sort of thing. But for me, I love music. Music is such an incredible way to just relax. And
100%.
I mean, to grow up in a musical family, I'm not gonna say jealous because I don't even like that word, but I am so amazed to hear about that. I just it is really interesting to me that it just was a part of your way of life.
Totally.
Because for my family, I mean, we always played music. I remember my mom playing Creedence Clearwater Revival when I was a kid. And, I mean, let's be real. I always was playing music. And then, the country music came in, and my mom was always, and disco. And I mean, we just listened to a lot of music.
Yeah.
So it was always in my life, but it was never like we were singing because we had no talent.
Right.
My kids, fast forward having my kids, I'd be singing in the car. They're like, Mom, your voice is so bad.
Oh,
and I was like, and then, I'm in church and I'm singing and I'm like, God thinks I sound great. And they're like, oh, geez, Mom, it's terrible. It's really terrible. So I can't relate to being musically talented, but music is so amazing for life. I mean,
absolutely.
It's in everything.
Everything.
I mean, it just is, I get in my car. And I remember one time, my old car, not my current car, but my old car, the radio was broken.
Uh-huh.
It had this thing. It was very weird. But anyway, if the battery died, you'd actually have to go back to the dealership. So it happened 4 times.
Oh, no.
Right? To go back to the dealership because I've had no music. And I'd be going, I'm tortured right now. I'm tortured. I've been trying to play it on my phone. Because music, to me, I can't get in my car without it.
Yeah.
It's so, I mean, I just relax and I love to listen to a lot of different music.
Yeah.
And so you have met probably amazing people
I have.
in the industry and just been exposed to so many things. What's your favorite?
Oh, goodness.
What's your favorite genre?
I would say, honestly, my first love is classic jazz, traditional Billie Holiday, Ella Fitzgerald, Nat King Cole.
Oh, gosh, yes.
I think that was my first love. And it's hard to have favorites. So I wouldn't even say that's my favorite, but I will say that was probably my first love as far as musical appreciation. And once I could kind of I got to an age where I could kind of grasp that there's some complexity to this music, and that there was just this, I was so drawn to, again, the appreciation of music. The emotion in Billie Holiday's voice. I didn't understand it, but at 9 years old or 10 years old, I'm like, there's something about this voice.
Soothing. It's so soothing.
It touches the soul.
Yes, it does.
Yeah. And that's what I same as you, I appreciate music so much because it can put you in a mood. It can take you out of a mood. It could enhance. It can make you feel happy, sad. It can make you think. It can be provoking. It can be, make you angry. It can just help you it can cover the gamut, and everyone can relate to some kind of music. It is truly the universal language.
It really is. And when it's in movies and it's contained in movies, I mean, sometimes you could find yourself bawling when you hear that song because it takes you back to the moment and the feeling.
Yes.
It's very thought-provoking, but it also is very, like you said before, it really touches your soul.
Absolutely.
So what an amazing job to have.
Thank
I
you.
actually am just, I feel sort of starstruck right now.
Oh, thank you.
And I mean, we met before, but literally
yes.
I'm just like, gosh, you're just so interesting.
Oh, thank you so much.
So I call you interesting, but I want to know, what word do you think describes you?
Oh, goodness.
It's going to be fun, I think.
That's a good question. I would say quirky, maybe.
Quirky. Oh my gosh, I love that, because I use that for myself sometimes.
Do you? Yeah,
too.
yeah, yeah.
Yes.
I'm all over the place sometimes in my head, and I think that's part of the artist's, possible makeup. Or maybe I'm just gonna give it to the artist to be that thing. But I don't know. I like random things, and my husband laughs at me because sometimes I'm actually doing really good today. I'm wearing all black with a black shoe with green and my flower. But a lot of times, like he it's really cute, but he always makes fun of me because sometimes I'm wearing like just random colors all the time. He calls me a hippie, which is funny that you said that you kind of like about your your
I
daughter.
love it. It's so hippie vibe-ish. I love it.
I'm just like this vibey, like kind of quirky hippie, like
eclectic. Don't forget eclectic.
That's a great word.
It definitely fits you. Yeah, yeah.
I love lots of different things. It's funny as an artist, you kind of have to be comfortable and talking with people. But a lot of times, I'm also very introspective. A bit of like sometimes on the introvert side, So sometimes it's good to get outside of that, And
introvert.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I would have never guessed.
Yeah, it's So I think just kind of made up of a lot of random things.
I love it.
But I have beautiful parents who are very supportive, and amazing husband, and it's just we're just living life.
Well, how do you balance it all?
Tell me how, because sometimes I feel like I'm not doing it, but
it's seasonal. I think sometimes you're really just doing great, and then other times you're like, oh Lord, I couldn't be worse. I couldn't be worse.
Yeah.
So it's all cyclical.
That's true. That's true. And I think you're right. And one thing I have learned is, and I think it is a cyclical thing. And if you're trying to get to a certain point in a career, for instance, you work really hard. You have a goal, and you do that thing, and you reach that goal. Good Lord willing, and then you're ready for this next goal. I've learned that you can't do the same thing that you did to reach that first goal, because now your goals are bigger. Things have changed a little bit. You know what I mean? So I feel like that's maybe the cyclical thing, that sometimes it's like, I can't do the same thing I did to get from point A to point B. Now I'm at point B, and I'm trying to get to point C. You know what I'm trying to say?
Well, you're kind of upping it, but kind of evolving too at the same
is the
time.
word I've been using a lot lately.
Yeah, evolving, and then also, kind of, I don't like the word pivot, but sort of changing a little bit. Always, it's almost like a metamorphosis.
Yes, I think that's a really good word for that, because so that's where I feel like those are the things that, but I wouldn't have it any other way, because I think I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, and that's part of my quirkiness. Brain is wired for this kind of uncertainty. I
think it's awesome. And that whole creativity thing is definitely a gift. I mean, definitely you're extremely gifted. And using that and realizing that in yourself. And just, I think it's interesting how you kind of were going back and forth. Should I do this or should I do that? Like really, and then, coming back to the music.
Yep.
Because that's your first love. And, really knowing that you're very talented at it. And it does take a special person to be able to, I can't imagine how tough, when you're touring and you're just on all the time, how hard that is physically and emotionally.
Yeah, it can.
Can you share with us a little bit about that?
Yeah, I would say it's been the last few years that I've actually really gotten to experience touring on that level, and so I still feel like I'm just soaking, still pinching myself, even though I've been at it, been started kind of really doing it like back in 2016. It's kind of like the first of it, and I still feel new at it, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
So maybe I still feel like that little kid, like in a candy store, and just to be able to do, I just recently told this to somebody. I have, you know how they say to kind of write your goals down and hopefully, so I have this little, a friend of mine did a interview of me for his class. He had to do like a mini documentary. That's what it was. And he was like, you tell me about yourself. And this is probably like 10 years prior.
Yeah.
And he's like, so tell me about this and, yada, 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 and your dreams and stuff. And I said, on this thing, so it's on YouTube and everything. And I said, one day my dream is to be able to tour the world, travel, doing music, doing the thing that I love, playing large festivals. And like to say like 10 years later, I'm literally doing my dream is I can't, so even though the travel can be tiresome, even though the there are elements of it that can be grueling a little bit, late flights, early lobby calls, there's not a lot of consistency throughout your day, but I'm so grateful. I can't, I'm like literally living my dream, and it's just a trip to flashback to that mini documentary my friend did for his class where I'm saying these dreams.
Yeah.
And I can say that I'm literally living that, so.
I love that. And still pinching yourself.
Yeah.
I love
absolutely.
it. And wait, what did you say? You're like a kid.
In a candy store.
Yeah. I love it. I love it. Because, that's true. I mean, when you were achieving things that you're like, can I really do that?
Right.
It seems so hard.
Yeah.
Is it really possible?
Totally.
And then actually doing it.
Right.
It's pretty amazing.
Because at that point, I had no plan on how to get to that point. I just knew that's what I wanted.
Well,
you know what I mean?
Your talent had to get you there.
Yeah,
but
you know what I mean? Sometimes if you go, okay, I want to buy a house and I want to, you can kind of see a plan, but I just knew what I wanted. and I always have to tell myself, because that's what really in my head keeps me grounded, is that there are tons of incredibly talented people that just never make it. They never make it. And I'm not even saying I've made it per se, but you know what I mean? Like there's plenty of talented people who will never get that opportunity. So why am I kind of like carving my way in when they're, you know what I'm trying to say?
It's a lot of different things though. Right. I mean, part of it is relationships.
True.
Meeting the right people, putting yourself out there.
Right.
I mean, I'm sure the first time you ever played for anyone, it was probably a little, in a professional, professional setting, on an audition, you're probably going, okay, well, am I going to do my best? Am I going to do, so many things had to be swirling through your head.
Absolutely.
And, I think you did it, but you put yourself out there.
Right.
There are a lot of people that will never achieve success because they never try, because they're too afraid.
And I'm going to tell you, that's been a quote. I'll tell you, a quote that has kept me going at those times when I really did want to quit. I really, really, really was like, this is for the birds. I'm done,
Yeah.
And I go, and I just see this image of something like just right around the corner. And the quote is from Thomas Edison. Many of life's failures are people who did not realize how close they came to success when they gave up. And that was like, this is me at that moment of when I could have given up. I'm an educated woman. I have a master's degree. I could pick up a job if I needed to, but that's not my passion. That's not my calling. Yeah. And I know that. I know that in my core. So even when there's those times, those ups and downs, and when I'm down and I go, you know what? There is still something around that corner for me. And it might just be a small step in that direction, but that's kept me going more times than I can even say. Yeah.
Wow, I love that. So, okay, let's just talk a little bit about the things you have to experience that are tough.
All right.
Okay, so you had to learn some serious hard lessons along the way.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a couple of them you'd like to share? Or one, maybe even, just with our listeners, that they could, lessons you've learned that young women can apply to their life. And it doesn't necessarily have to be music related, but just life lessons even.
Yeah, I would say one is the voice in your head will talk louder if you let it. I can't tell you how I feel like I'm so grateful again for my journey, and but I feel like I could have even been farther along had I just silenced that voice.
The self-doubt
the
voice.
self-doubt voice
Yes.
it can be loud if you let it. Like I've had to, my newest mantra, not the quote, but like a mantra is do it anyway. Meaning, even if I don't feel like it, do it anyway. Even if it doesn't make sense or, or it seems stupid, do it anyway. Even if it's something that doesn't, you just think it's not, whatever it is, but it's the right step towards your bigger goal, towards your purpose. Do it anyway, even if you're sad, even if you're like, think it's stupid, that voice inside your head is talking you down. Just do it anyway. Like, yep, okay, it might be dumb, I might fail, but I'm gonna do it anyway. And I feel like that voice has probably hindered so many people. Myself included, like where I've held back on things because of that. I thought that why should I because that's why, because that is what I want to do, and I had to almost like yell at myself, have that internal dialogue, like, Rebecca,
yeah, you're right. The whole
get it
discussion
together, with yourself,
with the strong you and the you that's afraid.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And what's interesting is almost every woman that I have ever interviewed, and I've interviewed over 50 women so far, they all say that their biggest obstacle is themselves.
Yeah. Yep.
That's remarkable and I've had so many different people that I've interviewed.
Yeah.
I mean, from, our district attorney
Wow.
to our undersheriff to a gym owner. I mean, all of these different women that I've spoken to, we all know, and we still do it. We still do it to ourselves. Yeah. We still have self-doubt in all of it.
Yeah.
And that's really interesting how we all have that same common theme.
Yeah.
No matter every single walk of life.
Yep.
We all have that as something we struggle with.
Yep.
It's crazy.
Even for me, I'm so excited that I'm finally working on an album that I made myself write all the lyrics for this new album I have coming out.
Yay.
And I've never done that before. And I was so scared because I'm like, these songs are going to be stupid. Like those right away. The first thing was like, I feel like I have something to say. And then it's like, but, you know what I mean? And it's like, why do I do that to myself? And again, that's where I had to be like, do it anyway. Just do it. Just do it anyway. Even if it sucks. Just for yourself. Just to know that you can do this. Like I had to just, put blinders on. Like the horses, had to put blinders on and stay ultra focused. And the blinders are to those negative thoughts and just keep my eye on the prize. And I'm so proud to say I'm going to have a full album next month and
July of 2022. Nice.
I'll have a full album, all that I've written, all the lyrics. I co-produced the whole thing. I've never done that before. And
outside of your comfort zone.
It's way outside of my comfort zone. And I'm just so proud. Even if it flops miserably, I don't care.
I suspect
you know what I mean?
It
like,
won't.
But I'm just
I
saying,
I
just, but thank you. But I had to do it for myself. I had to push outside of those boundaries and do that. But that was another like really big one where it's like that voice was so loud.
So I want to know, you don't have to tell me too much about the album, but I want to know in your songs, is there like a theme that you're trying to convey to people? And if so, if not, I mean, like you could just choose one of your songs, but I don't know. It could be a theme of all of them. I don't know. That you're trying to convey to people in your lyrics. What are you trying to convey in your lyrics?
Yeah, honestly, I feel like all my songs are relatable in some way. And I mean, like, there's gonna be 10 songs on the record. A third of them are about love, a third of them are about like some form of loss or heartbreak, which we can all relate
All
to.
relate to, and love too,
And love,
of course.
we can all relate to in some form or fashion. And then the other third are songs about encouragement, about getting through a tough time, about, pushing yourself through to this other side, either be it or like, struggling in a relationship and fighting for that, or, again, I wrote a song kind of to myself. It's called What's It Gonna Be? Talking about, you can fight or you can hide, run away or take it in stride. What's it gonna be? About your life, like if you come up with some sort of challenge in your life, how are you gonna face that? Are you gonna just fall off to the side and just give up, or are you gonna fight for yourself? So these songs are really about it's more, to me, I think, overall a journey that I feel and hope is relatable to everyone, because we all can relate to love, loss, and fighting for ourselves.
Struggles, yes.
Struggles in life and how you deal with it.
So, victim or survivor, that's what it all boils down to at the end. I mean, and one, I bring this up a lot too, is a lot of people see their tough times and they go, I'm the only one. Right. You're not the only one. And that's one of the things I really appreciate about music. Yeah. I think not every song, but a lot of songs really talk about this happened and here's what I did. Yeah. And this, I'm not going to choose that. I'm going to choose moving forward and becoming a survivor versus a victim. Yeah. Which I love. And so, gosh, I'm super excited to hear it.
Thank you.
One last thing I want to ask you. Okay, because you're going to walk into a room of young women and you're going to give them some advice. What, and, as leaders, starting your own company, that had to be pretty, can I do it? Am I going to be successful? Right. Tell me what your advice would be to young women that you could impart on them that will help them in life.
I would say, and I feel like I can only speak from my own experiences, but what I would say really, and I know not everyone would have this opportunity, but if there's anybody that you trust that would just, if it's a teacher, if it's a mentor, sometimes we just need that extra word from somebody else. Maybe not a parent. I don't know. My parents have been incredibly supportive, but it was that other person that just was like, because mom, like mom, you're supposed to say that,
Right.
But if there's, but it's okay to like search for that too, like I was able to find an incredible mentor who helped just give me a different perspective in life, but I would say that's good. I would say more so being hungry and learning your craft, whatever that is. That would probably be a better thing, because sometimes maybe not everyone would have the opportunity to have a mentor. But I would say people are more likely, in my experience, to want to help you, because maybe you don't know everything about whatever your path is going to be. But you're on that path. Yeah. And along the way, you're going to meet people, that will cross your path. And I've found people are more likely to want to help you if you're helping yourself. So I would suggest any person to, especially young women, ask questions, delve into your craft as much as you can. And as you're learning and you're coming across more people, they see your work ethic. It's going to pour out of you, because you can't help it. If you're already in and you're driven and you know what you want, or even if you don't know what you want, but you're still working towards something, I feel like you will be able to move ahead along in your path as people see you and see that you're putting in the effort for yourself. They're going to be more willing to help you versus somebody who says, gimme, or expecting a handout, or, that's just short term. Long-term effects is somebody who goes, I see you doing something. let me help you here, you know? And I feel like I've had so many of those guardian angels, quote unquote, along the way in my path, of people who saw me and go, oh yeah, okay. Oh, she's learning these songs. Oh, she's really, you know, she's taking everything I'm sharing with her and putting it to practice.
All in a forward momentum.
Yeah. People are more likely to want to push you forward if you're already doing that. You know what I mean? If that makes any sense. I hope that makes sense.
No, completely. And honestly, as you were speaking, all I could think about was one of my favorite sayings, and I hope I don't botch it and say it wrong. But if you can't fly, then run. If you can't run, then walk. If you can't walk, then crawl. But whatever you do, continue moving forward.
That's right.
It's a big deal. And I think, it's okay if it's a small step, but even if you're literally crawling, you're moving forward. And at some point, it all falls together if you continue moving forward. Because if you're paralyzed by fear and that self-doubt, you'll just be stuck. You'll be stuck. And you're never going to be able to move forward.
And again, and that's what comes back to do it anyway. Even if you're like, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm going to do something in the direction of somewhere. You know what I mean? But at least you're moving towards something. And I truly feel like, you know, and it might be a little too metaphysical, but you know, just the world, universe, spirit, whatever, tends to want to help people who want to help themselves.
I love it. You are, what a joy it's been having you here today.
Thank you so much.
Really exciting. Me. And you have your July 22. You have your record coming out. What's it called?
Yes, it's called A Shade of Jade.
A Shade of Jade. Yeah. I think there's lots of shades of jade.
That's right.
Oh my gosh, I love it. Well, thank you so much. Really, really enjoyed our time together.
Me too, Rebecca. Thank you so much. Plus, you have an awesome name.
Thank you, Rebecca.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Now that was powerful. We hope you've been lifted and encouraged by today's inspiring voice. Always remember that life doesn't look exactly the same for each one of us. Never stop dreaming, striving, and thriving. In future episodes, we look forward to bringing you powerful stories from amazing women who learn how to lead in to challenges. Thank you for listening and being part of our community with SheEO host, Rebecca Jones.
You have been listening to a Cloudcast original. Local stories, local storytellers, local brands. Find more stories at cloudcast.us.